Well, well, well. We sure do have an action-packed show for you tonight on the week of the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals beginning this week. Yesterday, the NFL had some bombshell news that dropped. Join us right now for an action-packed edition of our Nation Sports Show. Next! The following is a feature presentation of our Nation Sports Show. 27 years ago was the last time the New York Knicks played in the NBA Finals, led by their veteran superstar, Patrick Ewing. They took on Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and the San Antonio Spurs. The top-seeded Spurs were too much for the 8-seeded Knicks to overcome. San Antonio clinched their first championship in 5 games. Following the Knicks' appearance in the NBA Finals 27 years ago, year after year, New York continued to struggle to win on a consistent and regular basis. In the regular seasons to follow, they also struggled to get back to the postseason until Amar'e Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony joined forces to play together in the Big Apple. Despite having Stoudemire and Anthony on the same team, the Knicks could still not get over the hump and make it back to the NBA Finals. But now, Jalen Brunson has these Knicks believing that their time is indeed now, that this year it is their destiny to win it all. New York right now is the hottest team in the NBA. They have won 11 consecutive postseason games in dominant fashion. The last time the Knicks lost in the postseason was on April 23rd in the first round against the Atlanta Hawks in Game 3. For the first time since 1973, New York is 4 victories away from a long-awaited championship in their franchise's history, but it will not be an easy task. Following the Spurs' first championship 27 years ago, led by one of the greatest coaches in the NBA, Greg Popovich, and his superstar tandem of Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, San Antonio won 4 more championships. San Antonio, for the first time since 2014, is back in the NBA Finals, led by their young superstar, the alien, Victor Wembanyama. It is only fitting, 27 years in the making, New York and San Antonio will clash for the NBA championship. 2 teams remain standing, but only one can call themselves champions of the basketball world. Buckle up, because we're gonna party like it's 1999. One more time.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you this Tuesday? Hope everybody is doing well. It is a beautiful evening here in Northwest Indiana. Nice good day here. Great weather. But you know what? It got hot this weekend, this past week, both with the NBA and the NFL. Man, we got a lot to get into. But it's going to be a great show. I am Ezra Vickery. We thank you guys so much for joining us. And we got a loaded show for you tonight. And we got a lot to discuss. I mean, breaking news in the NFL of a blockbuster monumental trade. I know everybody's going to have some thoughts on that, including our very own Joey Thornton, who will be joining us soon, and Randy Gyron, who will be joining us as well. They'll be joining us shortly, so keep an eye on that. We also got the NBA Finals to talk about, the wrap-up of the East and West semis. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into a lot of other discussion in the world of sports, and depending on time, because I know that the games and all that are going to take a lot of time, we will talk about possibly the match of the year, and that is what happened at Noches de los Grandes between El Grande Americano and the OG El Grande Americano. We'll try to get into that as well, time permitting. So we'll get into all that in just a few minutes. But I got to introduce my heavy metal brother right here from the great state of North Carolina. And he is truly one of the gods of drumming in the Nation's Corner, which, by the way, you can get 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on youtube.com/Nation's Corner. Replays on video on demand. And this guy, of course, without him, I wouldn't be here, and without me, he'd probably be a lot better off. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Steven Lyon. What's going on, dude?
The $1 million question is, how you know? What's going on, everybody? Yes, we are here. We are live. And speaking of live, ladies and gentlemen, joining us right here, right now, live and in living color, our brother from another mother. He's a fellow fan of rock and roll and heavy metal. He's also a fellow wrestling fan. He's also a good sports fan, unlike the rest of the people in Ohio that own the Cleveland Browns. But we'll get to that. Oh, we're going to get to that. Ladies and gentlemen, our boy, Randy Gyron. What's going on, sir?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing tonight?
We're probably doing better than most Cleveland Browns fans right now. But that's...
Yeah, I had to ask somebody right before I came on here how they were doing. And he said it'll be okay. That Jared Verse, he's going to be a good player, but he ain't a Myles Garrett.
No. But great to be here with you tonight, guys, and gonna be a lot of fun. A lot to go over. The wrapping up of the Western Conference Finals. That series shifted over the last week since we were last live. And speaking of shifting, the NFL decided to drop a bombshell yesterday, and we're gonna get to all of those news stories here tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's do this.
All right, you know what? Since Joe will not be on until at least the bottom of next hour, let's go ahead and let's discuss the NBA playoffs. Obviously, the semis wrapped up as we saw the Knicks absolutely just swept their way to their first title shot since 1999. And what an epic battle this was. Obviously, it came at the price of an injury to Mitchell Robinson, but Mitchell says he will play even with a cast on his hand for that broken pinky finger that he suffered, which we learned that was an off the court thing that happened. That was not something that happened during any of the 4 games that were played. So that's going to be a little bit of damper. But we also had the San Antonio Spurs, who survived 7 games against a very talented OKC Thunder team, the defending champs.
And the rest.
But no matter how many times SGA flopped and Chet Holmgren complained, Victor Wembanyama kept his cool. Everybody kept their cools. And now we got the rematch from 1999. Great Prince reference earlier, Stephen, in the intro. Yeah. It was to now we have it. The NBA Finals are set, and Game 1 is tomorrow night.
And
it will be
the
Knicks in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
right?
That will be in Game 3, and the Spurs winning 60 games this year. They do have the home court advantage, so the first 2 games will be in San Antonio. But what's also very noteworthy, guys, is the fact that for the first time, I believe since the late 70s, we will not have a finals game played on a Sunday. So that's very interesting. It's been a while since the finals have started on a Wednesday. They normally start on a Thursday, but I love how the NBA, before we get into the conference finals, is doing it this year when it comes to the scheduling of the championship series, because none of these series are going to be going up against each other. They're all going to have their respective days where they're going to be on, and they're going to have the time to get their ratings in and stuff like that. And everybody will have a day to view their respective sports or both of them. So yeah, it's really cool how this is all working out. And as far as the conference finals go, Game Five, which was the last game that was going to happen before we left the air last week, and that game took place on Wednesday, and or no Tuesday, excuse me, and it was very interesting in that game because Wembanyama in that game was not his normal aggressive, you know, tendencies. He seemed like he was tired and, just not defending and playing the same way. He didn't take a lot of shots in that first half. And Castle picked up the scraps as best he could. Julian Champagnie finally showed up in that series, and it was a wake-up call.
You know who I think has been the actual star during that entire series?
Who's that?
I believe his name is Devin Vassell.
Yeah, Devin Vassell. Yeah, that guy.
When Wemby was struggling shooting, you said Devin Vassell out there, and he could drive to the paint. He could shoot threes. He's a very capable sharpshooter of a player.
And also Stephon Castle too. He was a very pivotal point in this series too. Because go ahead. Because even when Victor was struggling in Game 5 and when he was tired, the rest of his teammates were trying their best, to get into a rhythm. But just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the rest of that team, Chet Holmgren and the rest of that team, they ran him off the floor. And the one thing I think we can agree on, the officiating in that Game 5, especially in that second quarter, it was ridiculous because that quarter took too long to complete because of all the damn fouls that were called. And
ticky-tack fouls against, especially a lot of them against SGA.
SGA flopping around like a fish in a tank, getting all the calls, and keep this in mind too. For the rest of that series, AJ Mitchell and J-Dub didn't play. And J-Dub tried to play one game and he was horrendous. And we're gonna get to that because that's the next game. So yeah, OKC ran him out the gym in Game 5. But in Game 6, San Antonio came home, responded like, even though they're a young team, but they responded in such a physical way that the Thunder didn't know what hit them. I mean, Castle was hitting shots, Vassell was hitting shots, Champagnie again was on a hot streak, Wembanyama hit his first couple of threes in a row. I mean, that right there set the tone. De'Aaron Fox finally showed up pretty well in that game. And J-Dub in that game tried to play, but he was putrid. He was terrible. He only scored 1 point in that game. Now, Randy, what were your thoughts? Because San Antonio had to respond, and they did in Game 6. I mean, you're trailing 3-2. Your backs are against the wall. A young San Antonio team is playing like a team that has wild veterans on that team that have been there before. But this team is growing up before our very eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely. It all goes down to, or it all boils down to, the Spurs are just well coached. I mean, you can say Popovich ain't there anymore. I mean, that guy is a disciple of Popovich, so they're not going to let any of that stuff get to them, and they're going to show up in those big games, and they're not going to have that pressure, that they should, and that says a lot for them too, because they are young, like you said. They, a lot of these guys probably never even been in the playoffs, even, up until now. So kudos to them. You know, they got to overcome the Thunder's horrible play. I mean, they're sloppy. They're always scrappy. They're always fouling, and all that stuff. And it seems like they're like the Pistons West or something,
Oh
And
God, yeah.
I see Lou Dort. He's cheap. He's a cheap player. I've never thought he was a good player either. He's kind of cheap. He's always, every time I see him, he's trying to get in a cheap shot or something. So kudos to them for overcoming all of that.
And not only
And
that, but in game six, real quick, in game six and that night, what was also very pivotal in this game, OKC kept this game close in the first half. But in that third quarter, that was a 20-0 run by San Antonio, including like the first 10, 11 points with no Wembenyama on the floor. I
right,
mean, they blitzed OKC in that third quarter. The Thunder could not shoot themselves out of a wet paper bag in that game the rest of the way. SGA did not get the foul calls that he was getting
nope,
in the first couple of games. And the officiating crew, I really think, picked up on that because predominantly in the last couple of games, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was not getting the bullshit calls that he was getting.
right.
And the
I
referees
think
were not really falling for his garbage.
I think they're really starting to notice that. I mean, whether or not you can say that they didn't before, like they didn't believe it, but I'm telling you, it seems that when everybody the scrutiny started coming down a lot more, that stuff stopped happening for him, and he's not the same player, you know.
No, because he lives at the free throw line. And I told Joey this a couple of days ago. I said he is the new version of James Harden. He is the workable James Harden. Because James Harden 10 years ago, 7, 8, 10 years ago, was getting the same foul calls that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is getting now. And Harden was living at the free throw line, but he was not getting it done in a big spot. SGA, unlike Harden, has won a championship and he's been a multi-time MVP. Now, the big question is with SGA, where does this Thunder team go from here? Because to me, you could chalk it up. How did this series turn around the way it did? The injuries definitely played a factor in certain degrees. Also, San Antonio's physicality played a role in this because every time the Thunder threw a punch, San Antonio threw a counter punch right back at him.
That's right, yeah, and that's what I think they're not used to that either. You know, there was talk like during the season that San Antonio would be a very hard matchup for OKC. You know, a lot of people kept saying that, and it proved to be true.
I mean, as you were watching these games take
Yeah.
place, and you saw just how young this San Antonio team was, but how quickly they responded under the most immense pressure. I mean, any other team would have crumbled under the pressure of being down 3 games to 2 because 95% of the time, when teams go up 3 games to 2, the team that is up 3-2 wins the series.
Right. You know, another thing, on San Antonio, they have that Castle, and he was on those UConn teams, so he's used to the big time and the spotlight too. So he's not that's not going to phase him at all. So they're just a better team, and Oklahoma City got exposed.
And speaking of, and we're going to get to the game seven here in a bit, but there is one guy, that I think is going to be doing some soul searching, and that's Chet Holmgren. We're going to get to that here in a few minutes. Um, but yeah, well, like I was just so impressed with San Antonio responding at home after in game three they had a 15-0 lead. OKC comes back to win that game. Game four, they dominated them from the jump. Game 5, they get ran out the gym on the road, and then they did what they had to do. They went to their home floor and they said, okay, if you're going to take us out, you're going to have to earn it the hard way. And San Antonio and their fans showed up loud as hell and boisterous and were ready to throw down. And there was just a different fire that was lit under this team with their backs against the wall. I mean, they've overcome a lot of adversity in these playoffs. I mean, when Wembanyama went out with that concussion in the Portland series, Portland beat him in the game that he got the concussion. Then they lose against Minnesota in game 1 after being down 11, 12 points in the fourth quarter. They almost won that game with a Champagnie 3 that was off. And then in this OK series, they went against adversity as well, and they responded to do what they had to do to force a game 7.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this says a lot about the poise of that young Spurs team. It really does. It really says a lot about their poise, their ability to deal with pressure, their ability to deal with the big time moment. Now the question is, when the lights are on bright on Wednesday, and in every game going forward in the 7-game series, can they still have that same mentality against the New York Knicks team that has been just devastating people like Obafemi on Monday Night Raw last night. I mean, freaking, it's just it. They are the ruler of the NBA right now, if you want to calculate that. But to be honest here, this is going to be a tough battle for this young Spurs team, especially Wemby. Wemby, as big and tall and lengthy as he is, he has to go against experienced vets like Jalen Brunson. He has to go against a lot of these guys who, yes, some of them are still young by comparison, but these guys are experienced vets like Jalen Brunson, man. That guy, let him get open. He is an absolute sharpshooter. He will shoot. He's not afraid to shoot the ball.
No, he's not. And Mikal Bridges right now is the same way.
Yep, Mikal Bridges. And then even with that injured hand, I expect Mitchell Robinson to still be a huge factor in that game. Whether it's facilitating or being down in the paint.
Oh, God, yeah. And especially in game 7. Now, the one thing that I know, that I was very impressed, and I'm going to be curious to get your guys' thoughts on this, because San Antonio from the jump, they did not look scared, intimidated by the ghost of game 7. The pressure again, being away. You're in enemy territory. You don't have home court advantage. You're the away team. And they, from the opening tip, looked like the more controlled team. They looked like they were confident, that they were ready to show up and to give it their all. And the thing about it is Wembanyama didn't have to go crazy. He didn't have to score 45 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, on the other hand, he had to put the team on his back. And SGA in that first half was amazing. 19 points. He scored like 10, 12 points in a row, something like that. And the Spurs went up 14 in that first half. And Fox was playing great in the first half. Vassell, Castle, Wembanyama hitting shots like he always has. And then the Thunder responded in that first half. And the Thunder at one point took the lead, but De'Aaron Fox quickly gave the Spurs momentum by hitting that 3 to put them down from 4-1, and then they grabbed the lead again. And then the rest of the way, except for about a minute or two of the third quarter, OKC didn't hold the lead but a minute and change in that third quarter, and that was pretty much it. But Randy, I'll start with you on this. And I mentioned him earlier. Chet Holmgren. He essentially was the number 2 player because J-Dub, Jalen Williams, the sharpshooter that he is, was nowhere to be found because of the hamstring injury. A.J. Mitchell, their third best option, fourth best option on creating his own shot, he wasn't there. He was injured. It's up to Holmgren to take the pressure off of Gilgeous-Alexander, but he didn't. I think he was scared. I think he was intimidated by the moment. the magnitude, the opus of a game 7. He only took 2 shots, 4 points, 4
Mhm.
rebounds. He didn't shoot a
Yeah.
single three.
Hmm.
And what are your thoughts on his performance? Because I thought he was putrid in a big spot.
Yeah, I think the spotlight's just too big for some people, and um, San Antonio just knew what to do to get him out of his game, and it worked. And uh, he didn't show up game 6 or 7, and I don't know if hopefully he's a young enough player, he'll come back from that. But this is hope that doesn't happen. But as far as this goes, I mean, yeah, he really let them down, and like I said, maybe he'll improve over the years. But as of right now, that's that didn't look good. It wasn't a good look for him, and OKC suffered for it, for
They
him
did.
not getting being aggressive and all that. And like I said, they just took him right out of his game, and that was it. So
And SGA looked tired in that second half. I mean, he shot that three that would have put him down. I believe it would have put him down 3 or 4, and he just had he didn't have his legs, because obviously in basketball you have to have your legs when you're shooting a shot like that. He just didn't. He was tired. He was gassed. And every time the Thunder responded with a run, San Antonio would throw a run of their own. And I tell you, besides Shep Penny, who by the way had 6 threes in that game, 20 points. Tell you the guy that I was very impressed with, that's Dylan Harper. He's 20 years old. 20 years old. Obviously, his father, Ron Harper, won multitude of championships with Chicago and Los Angeles Lakers.
oh
I
yeah,
tell you what, that kid, to me, is not scared of the biggest moments, because he knew, hey, I got to go out there and help out my team. And he did. In a big, big moment. And oh, speaking of helping their team, and as you saw this happen on Saturday with us, that block shot by Cornette was a game saving play.
yes, it was.
Yeah, it was definitely a game-saving play. Cornette's been a player, while he hasn't had a lot of big moments, he's shown up when they need him to. He's not a great jump shooter, obviously, for his size, but the man can get in the paint, block, get rebounds. And that was the big thing with Game 7 that I was concerned about originally with this Spurs team, was the lack of offensive rebounding, because the Thunder, despite them losing the game, they literally have been freaking they were out rebounded offensively on the glass.
At
And to
one
me
point,
that's concerning.
At one point, the Spurs only had 2 offensive rebounds. But in the second half of Game 7, they had at least 10 or more offensive rebounds. And that is the one thing that they're going to have to clean up. And again, I just can't. I am so happy. And to all of the idiots out there that want to criticize Wembenyama for showing his emotions and crying, this and that and the third, dude, put yourself in those moments. Everybody counted you out. Everybody counted you out, saying that you guys aren't going to beat the defending champions in Game 7. You're not even if you go Game 7, you're not going to beat them on their home floor. That's because you don't have home court advantage. Wembenyama knew how big that win was, and the rest of his team did as well. And clearly, you can see that Wembenyama loves this sport. He wears the passion of basketball on his heart, on his sleeves, his emotions. He wants to win. And that is competitiveness that we have not seen in a very, very long time.
Most definitely. I think it's. I was trying to think about that. I'm not sure how many years he's been in the league, But
3.
I mean, it's only going to be, yeah, it's only going to get better. And
Only been in the league for 3 years, and he's 22. That's what's crazy.
yeah, he's
I
gonna
mean, that,
only up from here. Even if they lose, um, it's just going to be a learning experience, and they'll be back.
oh
But
God, yeah.
I think they'll be. I think they may win. We'll see.
And some of them shots that he hit in Game 7, again, just displaying his repertoire. That step back three, again, a man his size at 7'5", that is unheard of. He is so different. He is unlike any other player that we have ever experienced in our lifetimes as sports fans. There is nobody like him, and there will never be nobody like him already. That's what's crazy.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
And people considered Jokic to be a guy, and obviously he still is. Jokic, when he came into the NBA, he was different. Wembanyama, when he came into the NBA, he was different. And what's also very impressive about Wembanyama, and I know he's a Frenchman, but his speaking English, it is clear. Like that is amazing to come over here and to learn our culture, our English language, and he speaks it very, very fluently. It's amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now you mentioned the the big tall white elephant in the room, and that being Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren was a complete no-show. No-show in this game. I mean, he did not take all the pressure off of SGA. And I think, now, I know he's still under a max contract, but don't give Sam Presti the idea that, oh, I'm going to rip that contract in half. Because if he does decide to trade away Holmgren in the offseason or down the road, Giannis is on the table.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that he is. That's scary.
Giannis to me is the only one that can come close to defending Wembanyama because how athletic he is. So yeah, Holmgren, and he's 7'1", mind you. He's 7 freaking 1. You should still be able to defend Wembanyama because he's a big guy. And as well. But again, Holmgren just crumbled. He was scared. He didn't try
Hmm.
to shoot the ball because again, he's a pretty good three-point shooter himself, for a man his size. But the man didn't get physical. He was just it's almost like he just checked out of the game. Just because of the pressure of game 7. That's why game 7 it don't and I'm talking about this with several friends of mine over the last couple of days. It don't make a damn when there's a game 7. Why? Because you've already proven, both teams have, that you can win on the road and at home. Game 7, all that matters is who is going to make the most plays. Who is going to make the most opportunistic plays when it matters. And every time, San Antonio did not cave in. They may have teetered a little bit in that first half and parts of that fourth quarter. But every time San Antonio was about to teeter off the edge, Castle, Harper, Chet Penny were there to bring them back. And that's the scary part. Wembanyama did not have to be the scorer of scores. All he had to be was a presence. Because Wembanyama may only had one block in game 7. But it was a block on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA thought that, I had a wide open lane. Boom, here comes Wembanyama to make a quick adjustment, and he blocked the shot. But most importantly, he alternated a shit ton of shots in the last couple of games, at home and in game 7. His presence was felt, and it was there. And that, to me, is the scariest part about this young man. To be as young as he is, he is in his first run in the NBA playoffs. The Spurs last year were nowhere near the team they are this year. So for the naysayers to say that, oh, they're not this, they're not that. Well, the Spurs culture is actually damn good. And Greg Popovich may not be there anymore on the sidelines, but he's there because he is the president of basketball operations now. And Mitch Johnson, to be in his first full year, or his second full year, actually. No, technically it is his first full year because when Popovich stepped down, Mitch Johnson wasn't technically a full active coach. He was like an acting head coach. Like it wasn't like his first. Now he did pretty much coach the whole year in 24-25, but he was named the permanent head coach on May 2nd of last year. And Popovich obviously transitioned to being the basketball owner of operations. But to be as young as he is and to guiding this team, and I don't care that Greg isn't there, but his DNA is everywhere on this squad because he had a hand in predominantly every single player that was drafted
His
or that
DNA
came
is
over to this team.
his DNA is everywhere, man. They got to really clean that up a little better. And also, too, you talked about his presence. Yeah, his presence is definitely great. You could also say the same about the Pink Floyd album presence.
Aha!
I was wondering when I could shoehorn that in. When
Or the Led Zeppelin album.
That's what I meant. Led Zeppelin. See, I fucked that up.
Yeah.
Then again, I do the 3-minute warning bit, and you don't show up for 20 minutes. Like you did last night in the freaking chat with us. But I digress. Look, I mean, either way, this is going to be a battle. NBA Finals are going to be insane. Now the real question. Oh, go ahead, Randy. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying it's going to be good finals.
But now here's the real question.
Yes, sir.
Here's the real question. Who wins and how many games?
Oh, God. See, this is why I'm so glad it's the Spurs and the Thunder. I'm sorry, the Spurs and the Knicks, because that's what makes this even more juicy and competitive. The Thunder, I could see them winning in 6 or 7, easily because of the officiating, because they've had the officials on their side a lot, but the fact that now we have, for the 8th consecutive year, we're going to have a different NBA champion, and it's a matchup. You couldn't have scripted this any better. You couldn't have written it any better. You couldn't have drawn the idea up any better. The fact that we have the Spurs and the Knicks in the finals, it is going to be a spectacle. And I expect the ratings are going to be up the entire series, especially on June the 8th, when Victor Wembanyama plays in Madison Square Garden in Game 3.
Right, yep.
Yeah, but the thing is, how are they going to... Do you talk about the ratings, though? How are they going to compete with 90 Day Fiancé and Bailing Out Loud?
I don't know. You're right, dude. Oh, my gosh.
But no, seriously.
I don't think they didn't take that into consideration, I don't think.
Well, it's New York, so everybody in New York's going to be watching. So they're and God bless the Knicks fans. They should be happy. I mean, they have a puncher's chance at winning this. That's what's great.
They should worship at the feet of a 170-pound man wearing black, white, and red grease paint, claiming that he uncursed them in a fucking wrestling storyline.
Well, I know what to do.
At the feet of Donovan Danhausen.
Yeah. All they need to do is just, as San Antonio needs to do, is just give them more human monies. Hey, that's it. That's over. That's it. Okay. That's all they got to do.
I need Stephen A. Smith, Jalen Brunson, and Karl Anthony Towns to give Danhausen as much human money as humanly possible to make sure that they win the NBA title.
Well,
But
not if
man,
not if Wembanyama gets there first.
it's a tough question. It's a tough question, and I've been pondering this for the last couple of days. And I know Joey's going to be on here to give his thoughts a little bit later on. But man, I mean, this is a series that this could go either way. This is one of those championship finals that I might have a guess for you, a prediction for you on who I think is going to win, but then I could think about it later on, and then I might have a different answer for you tomorrow. That's what's so intriguing about this matchup, is either one of these two teams can win it all.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a prediction. It might change. Like you said, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go Knicks in 7.
Hmm.
I think that I think that the I think that the overall playoff experience of some of these guys, I think is gonna be the deciding factor than it is anything.
Not only
These
that,
young,
but the coaching experience, because Mike Brown has been here before.
yeah, act like you've been there before. Yeah.
Mike Brown coached the Cavaliers nearly 20 years ago in the NBA Finals with that young LeBron led team. He also was the coaching assistant behind Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
He also was the acting head coach, predominantly, I believe, in 22 during that finals when Kerr wasn't there. So again, he has experience. But that's the thing about experience, is that sometimes that's just numbers thrown out there. That's what's so intriguing about sports, is you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. I got Lakers in 6. Oh wait, damn, I forgot. Sorry,
Sir.
I just go with the Lakers all the time, so it's usually the case. 17 times. 17
that,
times. I mean,
that was blocked into the second row.
yeah. Well, 17 times. I mean, you gotta let somebody else do it for now. Whatever. But I think San Antonio will end up pulling it out. But wouldn't surprise me to see the Knicks pull it out. But then we just got to hear about it for a whole year. If Knicks fans, from the Knicks fans, if they do win, so that's why pulling. That's why I'm pulling for San Antonio, because I don't want to hear anything about Knicks this, Knicks that. But it's okay. It used to bother me a lot when I was younger. I used to know a lot more people that were fans and stuff, but not anymore. But still, I just don't. I just much rather see San Antonio young team win it, and a West team, of course. But
Not only that, but that in this series, Duncan, Parker, Ginobili are going to somewhere be at any of these games. And not only that, but the thing that's also important is that San Antonio has home court advantage in the finals. And that is why you work so hard to get a home game if there is a game 7.
Right. Yep. I would try to sneak Parker onto the court somehow. I don't know. See if he can play. That would
Ginobili
work.
do another Euro step.
Ginobili's hairline and LeBron's hairline, they'll have a match. Too. They can duke it out too. So.
Nah, but the matchup is so fascinating to me. I mean, not only that, but another question too is the rust. The question of that. Is that going to be prominent? Because the Knicks have not played in 9 days. And
that's true.
And obviously we know that they might be a little rusty at times, but that's going to wear off. But again, really, these two teams, it's the best two teams right now if you really think about it, because the Spurs have played really good, the Knicks have played really good, but here's my counterpoint with the Knicks. If we're being honest, the Knicks have not played anybody up until now, because they beat a Hawks team that really wasn't great. They beat a 76ers team that was emotionally drained after beating the Celtics in a 7-game series. And then they beat the oh, wait, I'm sorry. The Cavaliers beat themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the Cavaliers beat themselves when they were like, "Please welcome to the team, James Harden." You know, when they put James Harden on the team, that was it.
And then everybody
They're
else
done.
was thinking, oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Please, God, no.
Yeah. As soon as they signed Harden, that was pretty much it.
And I said before the playoffs even started, I said this is not going to work out in the long run, and I was proven correct.
Yeah, I'm not sure who Jeff Harden is. Maybe that's why they lost because they had Jeff Harden out there, not James Harden. But still, I don't know what made me say that, but still,
Was that your inner Mike Adamley?
maybe yeah, yeah, or that one, or Donovan. How much does this guy weigh?
Oh God, not that guy! Please, not that guy!
Wow.
Oh God, not him too.
Burke.
Art Donovan was the Adnan Virk of the '90s.
Okay. If that's the case, who's the? No, never mind. Not even gonna go there. But
Jeff Harvey?
aha!
Was it Jeff Harvey? Let's hope
You're right,
so.
Jeff Harvey.
Yeah.
I see. I don't like Mike Adamley's mispronunciation. I like Regals. Umanga.
Umanga.
Or Santino with John Cena.
John Chen.
You're Don Cena.
John Cena.
I was watching Simon Miller the other day, and he kept calling it AEW Dynasty, and I was like, "Well, this is over. I'm out.
It's gone.
I'm out." And that was enough for me. He said about 3 times. I was like, "Yep, got something else to watch. All right."
And it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I love Simon. He's great, but man, ooh, that was rough.
Oh, and by the way, quickly for wrestling fans who may not know, please follow the following man on Twitter as of now, and his name is John Heidenreich.
Oh yeah.
Heidenreich is officially on Twitter at John Jon Heidenreich 7. He's now joining Twitter because he's going back to doing bookings and signings with talent agency, doing things like acting roles and autographs and photo opportunities and stuff like that. So, and also Chris Van Fleet has interviewed Heidenreich as well, and that interview will be released later this month as part of Insight with Chris Van Fleet on YouTube. So, and where you get your podcast. So check that out.
By the way, speaking of Chris Van Vliet, man, if anybody has not checked out his interview that he did with Will and Dan, two of the best comedians.
I was just gonna bring that up. That was amazing. That was
Dude,
so funny.
I could listen to them two do their impressions all day long.
Yeah, that was good.
I can listen to them too because I'm Jesse the Body Ventura. I'm telling you right now, if I got in the ring with Will Sasso or that other jabroni, I would take them out and I would beat them down like I would do to Vince McMahon. But
Wow.
anyways,
You look like you look like Joe Hendry, and then you can do those impressions pretty good.
yeah. Just watch later. I could put up Sebastian Bach and sound like Gene Simmons.
Nice.
But anyways, we got some other things we need to get into NBA wise before we move on to the NFL. And this one is or before we move on to other stuff, because obviously there's other stuff going on right now in the world of sports. The 76ers have hired Cavaliers GM Mike Gansey to lead to be the new president of basketball operations for the 76ers. And guess who is the man who led the search? Former 4-time NBA champion, the architect of the dynasty known as the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers.
Well, that's a guy that Golden State is going to miss very much. Because Bob
Yep.
Myers is a excellent basketball genius. He knows what
Yeah.
he's doing when it comes to building teams and making teams and doing what's best for the teams. And so yeah, Golden State is going to miss him tremendously.
Yeah, and I think Mike Gansey might be good because he's been with the Cleveland offices since 2011, 2012. He's been with the team, and then he rose to the ranks of now the Cavaliers front office before he became the new president of basketball operations for the Knicks. So, I mean, he's got a lot of experience in leadership. So, we'll see what he does here with the 76ers. Maybe they can help get some people that'll maybe they can help get some people that'll help out Joel Embiid and company. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We'll see
Well,
what
the
happens
thing
in the off.
about well, the thing about Embiid is he's a great talent, but man, they need like really better role players and Paul George. Can we please have a consistent Paul George sighting, please and thank you? I mean, just Paul George has not been the same in a very, very long time. And Tyrese Maxey's a hell of a young player, so he's going to only keep growing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see what else here real quick before we move on to the other sports of the evening. Oh yeah, the Orlando Magic has announced that they are hiring Sean Sweeney, the San Antonio's associate here, who's of course on the sidelines right next to their head coach. He will be the new head coach of the Magic.
Good hire by Orlando because they have a coach, now that is going to bring his experiences of going deep into the postseason, and maybe that he can help them, get deeper into the playoffs.
Yeah, you're gonna see that Popovich tree again. Especially with that young guy. It'll be just like in the NFL with Sean McVay. A lot of
The Belichick tree
hmm
or the Andy Reid tree. I mean, like these guys, just great coaches and these disciples that come out from the tree to forge their own paths and legacies. Usually they know what they're doing because they come from, a cloth of coaches that know, how to teach them and how to run plays and how to scheme, for things and how to prepare for certain players and adjusting on the fly. And so, yeah, just like you said, that Popovich tree is going to be growing as we speak for years and years, as long as they remain successful.
Definitely.
Well, let's talk about this real quick, guys. And was a big talking point. As we know, we just saw the NBA draft lottery take place. We know who's got what this year. However, next year, there's a very big change. And the NBA's Board of Governors has passed a new anti-tanking rule policy.
Thank God.
That includes expanding the draft lottery from 14 to 16 teams, a relegation zone where the bottom 3 teams get penalized with lessened chances for the number 1 pick and flattened odds.
See, they're just lucky there's not more football and basketball like in the NBA, like NBA teams and NBA teams and football NFL teams are lucky, or they do like they do in England. Like when you're not good enough, you get relegated to another league.
Oh, and by the way, yeah. And real quick, Randy, by the way,
in Toronto.
You know how unanimous this vote was? 29-1.
Yeah. They're
And
tired of their teams tanking.
Yeah, and the only team that voted no was the Memphis Grizzlies.
Go figure. A franchise that has shitty luck.
Yeah, they have the worst luck. Yeah, they much rather get try to get the number 1 pick somehow still.
Well, they better play better next year.
And that's it.
No, they won't.
And it's not fair to the fans either. They're out there and the equipment manager's playing. You know what I mean? Like it's not fair. You go to see your favorite players all the time, and you miss out because they're on doing this or that or tanking. So this
I
will
mean,
this will
and
get
isn't it crazy that the Grizzlies just 3, 4 years ago was facing the Golden State Warriors in a highly competitive series in the Western Conference, and now they're back to the bottom of the basement.
yeah. John Morant's going to be out of there pretty soon, probably.
That's a
Yeah,
guy. He reminds me of a younger version of Allen Iverson.
Yeah, that's right. Iverson almost won something, but he ran into a buzzsaw
Yep.
in the
And then he
finals.
forgot about practice. Not the game, but practice.
You want to talk about practice? Oh, sorry.
John Morant ran into a problem, and that was his own gun.
Oh gosh. 2000 party oops out of time. That's what I say for them guys. Because they're out of
John
time.
Moran and James Harden should go play together. They'll be great together because they'll suck.
One will be
Yep.
posting on social media about all the guns he's got, and the other one will be fucking at the strip club blowing all of his millions.
And then I'll be flat broke.
Harden might actually have to sell off his beard. He
No,
might have to
dude.
rent it up a parking space.
Seeing pictures of that dude with his beard, with no beard, are so weird.
No shave,
know,
no shave July. Thought it was November. No, too bad. It's early now.
He's the worst.
We have one more update here, and that is that the Hawks are signing general manager Ansi Sala to a long-term contract extension and promoting him to the president of basketball operations.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
He was the runner-up for the 2026 League Executive of the Year.
Nice.
Nice.
So good payday for him, and he gets a new fancy job title.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
All right. You said Steve. Now, Big Steven, let's talk about the NHL.
Yep, because the Stanley Cup Finals is just about to get underway.
Yay.
Yep. The Las Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Carolina Hurricanes.
The only team in the Carolinas that is actually worth a damn, as far as professionally.
The Hartford Whalers. Yeah, let's go. Oh wait. I mean Hurricanes. Yeah, they're I've been watching them all year. They're really good. They're really good. They've been good the last couple of years, except for in the finals. They were very good.
Eastern Conference Finals, yeah, because they've been blowing leads and failing, and
At one
now
point,
they're finally in the Cup.
they were like 2-17 before this series.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. They're getting there, but that was it. But yeah, this should be good too. And the Golden Knights got a couple of great players. Jack Hughes and Mitch Marner is great. He's so fun to watch.
Jack Hughes, obviously the hero for the Olympics last year.
US Olympics, yeah, Olympic team as well. Yeah.
Yep. And also, Golden Knights last week completed their sweep of the top seed at the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, they kind of laid an egg. I was very surprised at that.
Yeah, they laid a massive egg. And all year long, Colorado was considered to be the top team to beat in the NHL for the Stanley Cup this year. But that was not to be.
Their record at one point was absolutely absurd. I can't remember like the numbers, but I mean they had only lost like 2 games. They won like 20 games and lost 2 or something. It was just absolutely crazy. So you figured they would be in it. I mean, they at least they got to the finals. In the past, teams have done that and lost in the first round. Boston did that a few years ago. So at least they got to the final, Western or Eastern Conference, or I'm sorry, Western Conference final, but that was it.
Yep.
Yep. Also, real quick, want to say congratulations to Zach Werenski of the Blue Jackets, who won the Norris Trophy for being the best defenseman in the NHL.
Whoa, cool.
They surprised him
Okay.
while doing a Father's Day vignette for the NHL with the Norris Trophy. And it was a pretty cool moment for him. Congratulations to Werenski, best defenseman of 2025-2026.
Cool.
Let's see what else I could dig into sports-wise. Let's go to ESPN, our good friends, and see if they can help us out.
Oh, real quick, while you're looking for some more updates, I do want to make a quick mention real quick while we're waiting for Joe to get on here. I was very highly entertained by the women's softball action over the last several days. Highly competitive games. I mean, just great stuff.
Women's softball doesn't get a lot of credit. Those women are great athletes.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we know where that's going.
Everything's in such a close proximity. It seems in women's softball. I mean, it's like very fast paced. So yeah,
and their game is different than, obviously, as far as innings. They do 8 innings instead of 9. So yeah, it was very entertaining to check out some of those games over the weekend, and also I was checking out some of the UFL games as the playoffs for the UFL are starting this week as well.
Nice.
Yeah. But Steven, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's get into real quick. Let's get into some NFL news while we wait before we discuss the big giant brown elephant in the room, if you catch my drift. Let's talk about some extensions that were reached, some contracts, and this one just broke about 35 minutes ago. And that is that the Seahawks and Derek Hall have agreed to a 3-year, $42 million contract extension.
Oh,
That'll
wow.
keep him there. That'll keep him there through 2029.
Nice.
And then who else got? And then there's another player who had an extension, and that is Steelers player Nick Herbig. He got paid
Big time.
4-year, $100 million contract.
Crazy.
And then we go up from there to a guy who signed a massive deal, and that is Drake London of the Atlanta Falcons. He's signed a 4-year, $141 million contract.
Woo! Get that money, young man.
And that makes him one of the top highest paid receivers in the NFL on a per year basis.
Man, he had a great year last year. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, despite all the injuries, despite all the issues with the offense, with Penix getting hurt and the Kirk Cousins stuff and all that crazy chaos. Look, Drake London was one of the key cogs that kept the Atlanta Falcons somewhat in it, and he's got some of the best hands in the league when it comes to catching the ball. So definitely worth the pay that they were going to give him to keep him around for a while.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
And then the other highest paid receivers in the NFL list outside of Drake London include Jackson Smith-Njigba, obviously, who just got massively paid this offseason. Jamar Chase.
Defensive player of the year. He was a defensive player of the year.
Oh, too soon.
Oh, he's still bitter about that trophy.
Yeah, he's a Buckeye. I gotta stand
It's
by
still
him.
real to him, damn it.
Still real to him, damn it. Yeah, that's pretty
Poor,
awesome
poor
for a
dude. He had a
wide.
great year, then they gave him the wrong trophy.
He was so good at wide receiver. They gave him the defensive player of the year. Holy shit!
Wait. They should wait. Okay, if we're being technical, guys, he should be given that trophy for having to deflect interceptions that Sam Darnold was throwing before he actually got good.
That's it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what
I
they
can't
meant by being. He was defense, so it was defensive. Yeah.
it with defense.
Mhm.
Miles, yeah, what's next? Miles Garrett's gonna get a fucking 6 Man of the Year award from the NBA.
Ha!
Yeah.
But let's
Yeah.
continue down the line here on this new stuff. Let's see as we scroll through the feed here. The Broncos are giving Pat Surtain a $5 million raise this year. He has a chance to make another $5 million next year if he makes all pro or Pro Bowl next
The
Yeah,
donkeys
Pat
throwing some money.
Surtain's a great corner.
The donkeys
Yeah.
are getting their money out there. They
year.
got Walmart. They got Walmart money. They got Walmart money to throw around. So they're
I
the
know.
Denver,
One be called the Denver Rollbacks.
the Denver rollbacks. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, all their shoes end up becoming like fucking like and one and shit like that. I
Well,
bought them. I don't care.
You should have known he was going to get that. They changed his price while you were in the store. They changed Sertan's price, so that's how you knew he was going to go up.
Yep.
The rollback. You get a rollback on that.
Okay, well, since we're saving the other trade for later, let's talk about this one. And that was, of course, the one we knew already it was going to happen, but it's finally official. And that is that A.J. Brown, of course, the former star wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, is now a New England Patriot.
What can Brown do for you? Get the fuck out of Philadelphia.
Now let's see if Nick Sirianni goes next.
Just don't forget your book, AJ. Get the hell out. Don't forget your book.
Oh, wait. The playbook's not going to say, what was it? Somebody came up with it on Twitter. It was it was Barkley up the middle, third and long, deep pass A.J. Brown, incomplete. Hey, Jalen Hurts, you're going to have to find another playbook. Barkley up the middle, Devontae, here you go, or something like that. I don't know.
I can't wait I can't wait to figure out what the playbook's going to be for.
Or it might be Barkley at the middle, touchdown pass to Dallas. Not.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb catches. Nope, he don't. CeeDee Lamb couldn't CD ball.
That is still the greatest line ever.
Kevin.
Yeah. What's AJ Brown gonna do there? And
well, hopefully for Drake May's sake, he can actually be the number one wide receiver, because the Patriots last year had no number one true wide receivers.
Did they ask Diana Rossini what she thought? What? Oh my! Did I say that out loud? Whoops.
Whoops.
He did it again.
Hey, Mike Vrabel, what do you think of that? Hey, Mike Vrabel, did you have a hand in that?
Oof.
He's too busy hiding his face.
No, that's Stephon Diggs every time he dates a woman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because there's another child support payment being stacked on.
Yeah.
But the Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately, some sad news out of their camp, and that is that Larry Fitzgerald Sr., obviously the father of the great future Hall of Famer Larry Fitzgerald, has passed away. He recently was past some health stuff and unfortunately passed on a few days ago. It was actually the news was broken yesterday about that, about the passing of Larry Fitz Sr. So definitely want to send our condolences to the family and friends of Fitz Sr., especially to Fitz Jr. and to the entire Cardinals organization. Definitely a sad day for that.
Oh yes.
Never want to see that happen, unfortunately. That sucks.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
And I know all about losing my father, so definitely my heart's to them. So,
Oh my, yeah.
but let's go ahead and keep rolling here. Down the line as I look here, as we get past all the other stuff, we're going to talk about when Mr. Thornton has arrived. Let's talk about this, and that is that Russell Wilson has officially hung up the cleats, and that he will now join CBS as a new sports analyst.
And if he was teaming with the Jets, I would hang up the cleats as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Too bad he can't replace that one guy on Fox. That'd be great. You should have replaced that guy on Fox instead.
No, he needs to go to college and replace Kirk Herbstreit.
Guy has no personality. Like, come on, Kirk, give me something, damn it.
Although they were, I brought my dog. He's my therapy dog. No, shut the fuck up. My dog is more. My dog Rocket, mind you, has more fucking personality than fucking Kirk Herbstreit.
Uh-oh, Sprocket didn't like that. Sorry, I hate to tell you. Can't be
Sprocket
talking
has
about.
more personality than anybody.
What's
Oh,
Sprocket
that's
going to
why-
go into business for himself?
Yeah, he is. Sprocket's kind of a Buckeyes fan, so that's what happened there. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. He's assimilated.
Well, don't worry. He left with like whatever how many minutes ago in the show. It's like LeBron James during NBA games.
6 minutes?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Usually it's 3 minutes, but we did that bit already during pre-show. So,
That's it.
some fortunate news coming out of the Giants camp, outside of the fact they re-signed Odell Beckham Jr. Is they lost their wide receiver Gunnar Olszewski, who tore his Achilles during practice.
Oh.
So now
Dang.
he's done for the remainder of the year.
Wow.
You mentioned
Okay.
OBJ, and that news came down, I believe it was yesterday as well, that OBJ is now returning to the Giants.
Yeah, he's returning to the Giants, and then I believe there was another signing, but I don't want to mention too much about it because it's obviously a part of the whole Myles Garrett situation. So, because I want to kind of keep that in our pocket until Joey shows up. So
They signed like 3 receivers. They were signing all kinds of old players. I think they signed Cliff Branch. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what they were doing.
No,
They signed a whole old.
They signed Juju Smith Schuster.
Yep.
Yeah, and someone else too. There was 3 that they signed. And like I said, I think it was Cliff Branch and Fred Biletnikoff. I mean, they were old guys, old wide receivers. I'm not sure who they were.
Yeah.
I wish the Ravens signed them. Oh wait.
Pittsburgh Steelers and senior special teams coach Darius Swinton has parted ways with the team due to violation of club policy. And also some good news here for you 49ers fans, and that is that Nick Bosa is making progress with his torn ACL and could be back for training camp.
Nice. That's not good news. Oh wait, for San Francisco, yes, not for the rest of the league.
For fans like Steven and KR, Kevin Rory, of course.
I meant to.
And obviously
for the rest of
Bosa.
the league. For the rest of the league, it's not good either.
Yeah, because Bosa, man, when he's healthy, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. What?
So listen to this. Last month, speaking of the 49ers, The running back, Isaiah Garendo, tore his pec lifting weights about a month ago.
Good grief.
But Kyle Shanahan said he could be ready at the end of training camp, though, to return.
Hmm.
A lot of injuries, let me tell you on that.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
season hasn't even started yet.
Nope.
Yeah. But by the way, we got to go back to hockey because obviously we got to talk about this, and that is that it was announced about 5 days ago that we lost an absolute legend in the world of hockey, and that is Claude Lemieux. Man won the
Yes.
Stanley Cup four times. He unfortunately, it was reported that by the local police wherever he was that he died of suicide at the age of 60 years old.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
but
And I do
No,
want to
so-
mention.
No, I was-
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was saying I put in the chat that that it was sad because like I was watching that game in Montreal and he walked out there with the cup or he was doing or the torch I mean or something for them.
Yeah.
He had a very big part and they honored him. And then like 2 days 2 days later you heard that I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? I just don't know what had to happen for that to be something that was that unfortunate. I don't understand how it went sour that fast for him. That's terrible. And I just remember him when I was a kid. I don't remember him playing, but I remember hearing about him and whatnot. That he was just an absolute legend. And this is sad.
Very sad.
very sad. And we
Speaking of very sad, I forgot to mention this last week, but won't forget it now because it has to be mentioned. But a few weeks ago, we lost one of the greatest pound for pound race car drivers.
Yep, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch unfortunately passed away, age of 41 years old. An absolute. If we want to put this in wrestling terms, he was the consummate heel of NASCAR. The man
Yeah.
didn't care. He loved to get into confrontations, loved to get into fights. But to him, it was a character. To him, he just loved his passion for what he did. Him and his brother Kurt is unmatched. It's just like the Earnhardts. It's just like the Labontes. A lot of passion in those guys was off the charts. And
Yep.
Kyle Busch was definitely one of them. And to lose him at such a young age was completely and utterly shocking. And real quick, before we move on to the other guys here, obviously I've watched some races with Kyle Busch with my dad, because my dad was a massive NASCAR fan, massive fan of the Indy 500. All these races, but seeing him, and all that, it was cool. But it's a sad day to lose somebody not only at such a young age, but from something what could have been as simple as pneumonia, which unfortunately turned into sepsis. Which, as we know, when sepsis touches the body, it's not long before you're done. And unfortunately, we've seen that numerous occasions recently.
And to give kudos to Kyle for racing when he wasn't feeling good. That man still went out there and gave it his all.
He did. He did give us all. And
two-time champion, and everybody is still in the state of shock over his sudden passing. And everybody in NASCAR and everybody in the world of sports is paying their respects to him in various of ways. And just one of the most physical drivers ever. And he reminded me of the late, great Dale Earnhardt Sr. Just how of a physical specimen he was when he would get inside of a car. He made you feel everything. He wanted you to know that I am here and I want this.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
And
Go ahead,
it was just another thing, just like I was saying about like the Lemieux thing. Like he was sick, and they said we're not sure if he's gonna race or not, and then he passed. And I was like, reading. I'm like, there's no way that just happened. You know, like I just read something on a feed right before that he was just going to be out, and then they're like he passed away. I'm like, what in the world? It's
Same
terrible.
thing. I remember reading same thing you said. Oh, he's gonna be out. I'm like, okay. And then because of an illness, I'm like, okay, he's to be out this week and he'll be back. Then he said he passed away. I'm like, no way. It was shocking.
Oh, I don't even believe that.
Yeah, we
Still,
definitely. Oh, go ahead, Randy.
no, I'm just saying, I just still don't believe it. Neither, you know, like you said, everyone is in just utter shock. It's terrible.
It is, and we of course send our condolences
Definitely.
to prayers and well wishes to the Bush family, to the entire Richard Childress racing team, NASCAR, and anybody who was affected by his loss. Let's go ahead and move on to some news that'll make you laugh. And it's something that involves the Jets. And that is that they signed kicker Young Ho Koo. The famous
Nice.
kicker for the Atlanta Falcons who fucked up everything.
What did he
Yeah.
do now?
He signed with the Jets.
Oh dear God Almighty. Well,
Yeah, that was it.
here's your first kickoff of the season, and your season's over.
And it's gone.
Mhm.
Good news for the Colts. Less than 6 months after tearing his Achilles, Daniel Jones is throwing passes at OTAs.
Let's hope we don't see any ghosts, though.
Oofa.
That was very low.
Oh, yeah. Low hanging fruit. Come on.
Yeah, that was so low only the Munchkins could reach it.
I want to tell you guys what something that happened to me today. I was at work, and someone tried to give me junk about being a Raiders fan. I have Raider stuff on my desk, and I told him you should. Is it all you guys? The Panthers. He's a Panthers fan. I said all the Panthers need is a quarterback that will jump on the football. And I told him it wouldn't be so much for the quarterback they have now to jump on the football because all he has to do is just bend over to pick it up. It's it's eye level, so you don't have to worry
Oof.
about that. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
you said the Raiders haven't won anything in a while, and I was like, well, it's on for this dude. He's over. I got him.
yeah. Also, I got to tell you about I was talking to one of my friends the other day. We were talking about sports and all this stuff, and he asked me would I travel to go see a team. I said, well, I recently put my suitcase away because I wasn't going to use it. Haven't traveled much really outside of Chicago since COVID. Well, that was a
Mhm.
big mistake because now I have all this emotional baggage.
But
And a return of my dad jokes. Here we go. Oh yeah, and one more point. Also, too, I had a dream last night that I swam in a ocean of orange soda. I woke up and realized though it was just a fantasy. I don't know if it's all a part of my rock and roll fantasy, but moving on before we lose our last half a viewer. 49ers and Mac Jones have agreed to a revised contract for the season, adding a $300,000 roster bonus.
Hey, he deserves it.
Yeah, he kept that team alive when Brock Purdy was recovering from injury. And also with the chefs OTAs was Patrick, I'm in love with the refs more than my wife Mahomes.
yeah, the cheats, you mean, or the chefs? Either one.
He's married to his wife, but he's secretly engaged to the head referee.
Wow.
100%.
We've already got a score in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Man, I forget to put that on.
25 seconds into the game.
Oh my God, Carolina scored.
Scoring 25 seconds in, something Steven knows nothing about. Um, I'm sorry. That door was wide open for that one.
That was someone even I didn't see it coming.
Ooh, I wasn't even going there, bro. But you did that yourself.
Do it! I did it already, brother.
He's,
Okay.
what's he doing?
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother.
Wait, what's he doing with himself? Hold on. Time out, guys. Come on.
Hold on,
Okay.
brother. Hold on,
How
brother.
much longer till we get kicked off of YouTube?
Not much. Not much. We keep this up.
Carolina has scored 25 seconds into the game after a Golden Knights turnover.
I got it on here now. I saw it. Oh my God.
Let's you know what? While we wait on Joey, let's discuss something. Let's discuss this. Possibly the match of the year.
Oh my God! Yes.
Los Grandes. El Grande Americano versus the OG El Grande Americano. Mask versus Mask. I will say this much. I found out, or I read on the dirt sheets, mind you, dirt sheets, whatever, that the man who produced that match was also involved in that match.
No. He was?
The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne.
Wow.
Yeah, I just read that myself. Now, only the WWE could pull off something like this, though.
It was only a joke.
Yeah, and they got that guy. They got Luke Kaiser over so much. It's insane. I didn't really realize it was like he was that over until they started coming to NXT, and like the fans were just all about him, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then when I would see like little snippets and stuff of them in Mexico for AAA, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did WWE do this? But credit to Kaiser for getting it going.
Yeah, we got to go give a lot of credit to Ludwig Kaiser because the man embraced it. The man embraced the role. He learned Spanish fluently. He embraced the culture. He's engaged to a woman of Latin descent, of Mexican descent, who's one of the people for AAA and WWE and Espanol. And he's taken what was supposed to be a joke gimmick for Chad Gable and turned it insane, unreal.
Yeah, it's so crazy that they could do a German and an American luchador and have them be American luchadors and have it be over and even get the match of the year. I think they knew that was going to be a great match. I mean, obviously, but my gosh, crazy.
Think it makes sense with Pete. I think it makes sense with Pete Dunne, though, because Pete Dunne helping do that match. Because if you think about, to me, the greatest wrestling match that I ever saw live in person was Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate for the WWE United Kingdom Championship at NXT TakeOver Chicago 2016. I was there in the building. 25 minutes of the best wrestling that I've ever seen in person. And to me, if you're going to build them, and I'm guaranteeing you, yes, they had help from some of the agents, but Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are masters of their craft. So it makes sense, especially a general like Pete Dunne. I expect him, if he were in that role as a producer, to put that match together with Kaiser and Gable. And kudos to both of those men for laying it out on the line. Those two men bled. They put themselves through hell. Props to all the people involved, whether it was Rayo and Bravo and, the Americanos Hermanos, Pimpinella, everybody who was involved.
The storytelling that they were doing in the match. bringing everybody back from Gable's past when he was donning the character of the OG Americano. Just, it was a very well done match by everybody involved, and that crowd ate every bit of it up.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Real quick, guys, ladies and gentlemen, in the room right now is our good friend, our colleague on this show, JT Joey Thorne. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I was glad I was
How
able
you
to
doing?
hop on finally.
We've been saving the
sir.
best for last, and that was you, because we know you got a lot to say on these Western Conference Finals, into the NBA Finals, and the debacle that is the Cleveland fucking Browns.
Debacle. I'm going to start off with this.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. You're talking about just the Cleveland Browns. How about all of Cleveland sports right now?
Hmm.
That is true.
That is the real debacle right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Fucked.
Yep.
But
Man,
Joey,
I mean, literally, I was talking to Steven the other day on the phone, and I brought up the fact that ESPN does their not top tens every Friday. I saw that one play during Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals where Brunson literally got the ball at half court, literally weaved around the whole Cavs defense, who didn't even try to stop him, and put in an easy layup. I was like, did I seriously just see that?
yeah.
That's the Matador defense.
Yep.
Well, hey.
Olay! See, we're picking. I'm still in the luchador mode there. Sorry about that. Olay!
Well, speaking of luchadors, one hell of a match between the two El Grande Americanos. That was one hell of a match.
It was great.
By that if dude, Joey, I will say that much. Based just with the storytelling and with the overall aura of everybody, the presentation of both characters, how hated Gable was and how beloved Kaiser was, it was insane. It was like WrestleMania in Mexico. That's exactly that could have been. That's a Triple Mania main event for AAA.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And Joey, I gotta say this as well. With that, when it comes to that match, the man who outproduced it, Pete Dunne, but also kudos to the fucking Undertaker, who runs AAA.
Mm-hmm.
That man has helped put together this story with Triple H, and they created originally a joke gimmick that was supposed to be this guy finding the luchadors, to just get back at him. Now all of a sudden, here we are, freaking now in one of possibly not only the match of this weekend, but a match of the year candidate.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
But Joey, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's talk about the NBA Finals and the NBA those last few games. Real quick. Let's get into your thoughts. We already talked about it, so the floor is yours on that.
I mean, let's see, I believe, if I remember Steven correctly, by the time the show ended last week, Game 4 had just taken place or was taking place.
Yeah, Game 4 just happened, and Game 5 was happening that night.
Okay, Game 5 was happening that night. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, what can I say? San Antonio knew what they had to do. They went out and did it. And not to throw backlash at some of the OKC fanatics, but I mean, I listened to SGA's post-game press conference at the end of Game 7, and I'm sorry, dude. You do not have to be or at least act like a sore loser, because you cannot say that your MVP year was a failure because you did not lead your team back to the NBA Finals. You cannot say that. So, I mean, I don't know why he was thinking that or why he said that, but SGA, I mean, listen, you got 2 MVP wins under your belt. You got a championship title under your belt. And yes, I know that you are now getting some of the calls that James Harden did 7, 8, 9 years ago. But please, 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 for the love of God and for the love of all sports/NBA fans in general, please do not turn into James Harden 2.0 because that is the last thing the NBA needs. So do not
He's
get
already
started.
he's already headed that direction, unfortunately.
He's already heading that direction. So this is my stern warning to you, SGA. Please do not do that because it'll save us all the grief and all the torture. But it might give us a couple laughs down the road if he does wind up going down that path.
Chet Holmgren just made us feel embarrassed because the fact he didn't even show up in that game 7. Like, come on.
Yeah, he did not show up at all. I mean, 4 points, 2 assists, or no. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers in 33 minutes. Please, I can do all that in 5 minutes. much less 33. I mean, come on. But like I said, San Antonio, they knew what they had to do. They were not going to be in a situation where they were not going to be taken lightly. They were down 3-2. They knew what they had to do. They went out and did it. So kudos to San Antonio for knocking out OKC. And I can't say that I'm surprised because I'm not, because I picked San Antonio to beat Oklahoma City. And technically, Shaquille O'Neal did back when he made that random prediction in February, too, on Inside the NBA. So I guess we're both winners from that standpoint.
But now and I've been kind of saving this myself. I know Ez gave his pick, Randy gave your pick. But what are your thoughts on where we stand in the NBA Finals? Who is going to be the winner of this series between the Knicks and the Spurs?
You know, I have been given my thoughts about this, and this may very well could be an even-to-even matchup in the NBA Finals, but only if the Knicks want it bad enough. If they want it bad enough, they could stretch this into a 7-game series if they want to, but I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen because New York can make this a competitive series if they want to, but I am calling it right here, right now at 8:38 p.m. on Tuesday night, June the 2nd. It's going to be the San Antonio Spurs in 6.
Wow.
I'm calling it Spurs in 6.
Yeah, I'm going to go with San Antonio as well in 7. Because the biggest question that I have for the Knicks is, can they stop Wembanyama? Because if Wembanyama is struggling, he still has his other teammates that can pick him up and bail him out.
Absolutely. And here is another question that I have for the New York Knicks. With game 1 starting tomorrow night, and since it's been over a week since they played, are they going to be able to shake off the rust from not playing for over a week? Because, and Steven, you can back me up on this because I told this to you last night. If, and I mean if, the Spurs take the first 2 games of this final series on their home court, this series is going to be over in 5. New York, they are going to have to dig down deep to win at least one of these first 2 games on the road if they want to stretch this to at least 6, maybe 7.
Not only but if you're the Knicks, real quick, if you're the Knicks, you have the most pressure on you. San Antonio is a young team. They technically shouldn't even be here. They are ahead of schedule.
They
Everybody
are
was talking
years
about
ahead of schedule.
There were people talking about how they're supposed to be thinking about rebuilding and getting a little better here and there. They're already in the NBA Finals in Wembanyama's first year in the postseason.
Yep.
But yeah,
So yeah. I mean, the Spurs have so many great players around Wembanyama. They have Castle. They have Fox. They have the rookie Dylan Harper. I mean, they have so many great players. They have so many great role players around them, including the backup center to Wembanyama. I can't remember his first name, but his last
Luke
name is
Cornett.
Cornett. Yeah,
Yep.
Luke Cornett, because apparently in Game 7 he made the block heard around the world when he stuffed Chet Holmgren at the rim like he did in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he did.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs, they have such great players around Wembanyama. And if New York tends to back off just a little bit with San Antonio still on the gas, the Spurs are going to roast the Knicks. And I know that there are a lot of people out there, trust me, because I've been reading the stories. There are a lot of bettors that are heavily invested in the Knicks winning the NBA Finals. Hell, Steven was saying the other day that the NBA is betting on everything to have the Knicks win the NBA Finals. But unless they can find a way to knock Wembanyama off of their game, then they're not going to be able to get it done unless they give 110%, hell, 150% every time they step out on that court.
You have Knicks fans out there that are outright saying they're going to beat the Spurs in 4 or 5. I'm like, whoa, not so fast. If you're going to beat this team, you're going to have to earn it. It's not going to be easy.
They call Wembanyama, who's 7'5", the alien for a reason, because apparently they haven't noticed how wide Wembanyama's wingspan is.
Mm-hmm. And plus, that's going to be hard to stop, because if you're the Knicks, that's going to be a size that it's going to be hard to conquer, because Wembanyama, not only is he so good at shooting the ball, passing the ball, and getting to the basket, but he's also good not just at blocking shots, but he's also great at alternating shots.
Yes, he is. And the Knicks, y'all are going to have to put some serious pressure on Wembanyama if you want to try to take him off his game.
And if we're being honest, the Knicks have not played nobody up until now.
No. Because, I mean, Atlanta, Philly, Cleveland, don't even get me started there. Yeah, the Knicks have not played anybody. But speaking of Cleveland, yeah, I started my phone conversation with Steven yesterday with this exact same statement, and I'm gonna do it here again on the show. Cleveland, you are ultimately fucking cursed for life. I mean, because why? After the amazing year that the lone bright spot on your team gave you, you trade him to a team that already has a lockdown, top-notch defense in the LA Rams. Why?
I know why.
Humorous.
Cleveland's because Cleveland's gonna Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's
I've
good.
I've lived there 32 years. I lived in
Yeah.
Ohio for 32 years. This kept happening. The reason I'm a Raiders fan to this day is the mistake by the lake. I mean,
The Cleveland Steamers.
Cleveland's gonna Cleveland. Yep, Cleveland is
Look,
gonna
I
Cleveland.
mean,
Look,
the
I
only person this really benefits in the long run is Joe Burrow, because now he doesn't have to face Myles Garrett twice a year.
Yep.
But if I'm
Carolina
Brock
once
Purdy,
again on the board.
I mean, if
Yep.
I'm Brock Purdy, if I'm Sam Darnold, if I'm whoever the Cardinals quarterback is, I think it's Jacoby Brissett, I would have to say run,
Mm-hmm.
because Myles Garrett is going to be coming for y'all. And like I told Steven yesterday, the Rams are completely loaded up on both sides of the ball right now. So anything less than a Super Bowl appearance is a failure.
The
I saw
Rams have
something.
now.
I want to let you guys know. I saw
Anything less.
something. I saw something when we just got on the air here. I was watching NFL film or NFL Network, and it was the scariest thing I've seen. And it was Aaron Donald working out again because they think that he
Oh.
come back.
Oh my God. If he comes
Yeah,
back
there's talk that he may
to
come back.
this Rams team, oh
Yes.
my God.
I was just despair and sadness just took over me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is
I would be
so
horrified
bad.
to play
So bad for
Aaron
everybody.
Darnold and Myles Garrett on the same team.
No, thank you.
Oh, I would be
dude.
scared.
Oh,
dude, I gotta say this now, and this right here, I'm gonna say this out. I thought that the Jets were the dumbest fucking team in the history of the NFL. Well, congratulations,
Nope.
Cleveland. You've taken that prize.
yes, they have.
Well, that
What did that
the
fucking
Deshaun
shit go?
Watson bull stuff, all the Deshaun Watson stuff, and all that other stuff. You know,
Well, wait a minute. Speaking of him, if you're Cleveland, why is he still on a roster spot? He's nothing.
he's about to play. He's about to play this year. That's why they love him.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
fact that they're having a quarterback competition, their quarterback one competition is between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. God help us.
Exactly.
You
That's
might as
what it
well
is.
put James Harden out there on the field.
They're trying to get their money's worth out of Watson. They're just so they're like it's like a bit that they're just committed to. You know,
They're snake bitten. They're
like an actor just sticking to the bit, even though it's the scene's burning, that everything's burning behind him, and he's trying to make the most of it, and it's not working.
Could you imagine if Metallica went out on tour in 2004 and Lars played the entire tour with the snare wires turned off? Oh my God.
What if they just did
No.
Lulu every night?
No. I wouldn't even show up. No.
Okay. Cleveland Browns right now are on the same level of shit as fucking Lulu is.
They're gonna do Lulu unplugged.
By the way, the Rams. By the way, this is a joke. By the way, this is a joke report. But the Rams have offered a contract to Lou Dort of the Thunder to play linebacker after seeing his defensive game film from this past season.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. That guy's a thug.
Bro.
He just
I
beat
don't get
everybody up.
this.
He should be on the
Get this
Pistons.
from. Why do you trade away your two-time Defensive Player of the Year, the guy who broke the single season sack record last year? Why would you do that? For what? Draft picks in a very promising, good young look, and that's nothing against Jared Verse. Jared Verse is a beast.
Oh, he's gonna be something. Yeah,
Oh,
he's gonna be
be
something.
great. But he's no Myles Garrett.
It's just Cleveland, bro. It's just Cleveland being
Don't get me
Cleveland.
wrong.
And being a
Jared
dumb
Verse
fuck.
is good, but he is not no Miles Garrett.
No,
Dude,
gosh, no.
Dude, this is Cleveland once again. A Cleveland team being a bunch of dumb fucks and not caring about what they do and causing their football team to become even more trash than what it is because you have fucking shitty players like fucking Senor Sanders and shit like that.
Yeah, and don't get me
No.
wrong. I thought Dallas traded away Micah Parsons to Green Bay was the worst trade. Nope, this was the supplants it by a long shot.
This was the worst. This was the absolute worst outcome possible for Cleveland. You trade away your best weapon, fucking period, in Myles Garrett to a Super Bowl contending team that is loaded up on superstars on both sides of the football. And now, not only does Matthew Stafford have a great offense in front of him, but now this Los Angeles Rams team, who is loaded with talent, with Trent McDuffie at one of the cornerback spots, and now you have the best defensive player in the NFL for the last 5 to 7 years or so, who is still one of the most dangerous competitors and who has been hungry, wanting, craving a Super Bowl championship shot. And now he's going to get it because Cleveland just handled him to LA like a silver platter. Boom, here you go. Just give us a couple picks and a young, promising player. LA Rams
Exactly.
said, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Like, just terrible. Terrible.
They so now the Rams are the first team to ever have the reigning MVP and the reigning defensive player of the year on the same team.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
just completely
Great.
dumbfounded. Like, for real. This is just, like,
Mhm.
why? Like, for real. Just absolutely why?
I mean, you could not pick a worse opportune time to trade away your best player. Like this is uncalled for. This shouldn't even happen. I mean, okay, like when the Ravens had the unfortunate events with Max Crosby, how he failed the physical. They still tried to sign his ass, and we're not going to bring him because he failed his physical. That was a dumb move because they tried to get him, and they failed. But this just tops it because the Cleveland Browns have stooped to the most unbelievable of lows of trading away your best weapon, period. Because now everybody in the AFC North is thinking to themselves, thank you, God in heaven, because I don't have to face that guy on the opposite side of me. But the rest of the teams in the NFC West, good luck. Because if the reports are true that Aaron Donald is going to be coming back to the NFL, you better pray to God that Donald and Garrett do not do as good as we know they can, because they are two of the most freakish athletes in the NFL to play the game in the last 10 to 15 years.
That's all right.
Yep.
A real quick update: Carolina 2, Vegas 1.
Oh,
right.
Vegas has gotten on the board now.
Yep.
Yep.
After a couple of goals they gave up, including the
15
first goal in
minutes.
25 seconds.
15 minutes in as of right now, and it's 2-1 Carolina.
All right, and in regards to that other trade we saw yesterday, which was quite honestly the worst kept secret as far as trades go with NFL history. Bravo to the New England Patriots for landing A.J. Brown. But, Philly, did you do anything as part of, or did you get anything back as far as this trade? No. So now my question to you is this. Who are you going to get to help out Devontae Smith now as far as wide receiver goes?
As of right now, nobody.
Because you cannot convert Dallas Goedert into a wide receiver, because if you do, then you're going to be without a block and tight end.
Yep.
And you can't say, oh, well, we traded up and got Makai Lemon out of USC. Dude, he's a rookie. you can't really expect much out of a rookie. Sometimes. So, I mean, you gotta love sports, man, because there's always a topic to talk about.
Oh
Whether
God,
it's
yeah. Just when you
good,
think you run out of topics in the NFL, or somebody just pulls you right back in with their idiotic, movements.
yeah, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's stupid, whether it's funny. At the end of the day, it's all entertainment.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Um, I don't think I have anything else to discuss. I think we ran through pretty much everything. Joey, is there anything you want to bring up real quick before we wrap up the show here in just a minute or two?
Yes, real quick, I do want to say congratulations to my Atlanta Braves for becoming the first Major League Baseball team to reach 40 wins on the season. Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, definitely this month is going to be a crazy month coming up. I know all of us have some sort of things we're doing. Real quick, want to highlight, I know Steven, I think you've got a couple shows or a show or two coming up this month, don't you?
As of right now, I have no shows planned yet, but that obviously can change.
Well, that obviously will change because we know how you are. So, fuck you. But for me, I have Rocks Fest coming up June 19th. Daughtry, Skillet, Hinder, as well as a new singer, Diamante, who will be there on the 19th. I will not be going to second night as of now, but the second night will be Hawthorne Heights, We the Kings. I believe it is either, I forget who it is. I think it might be Bowling for Soup, and then Simple Plan will be headlining that night. So pretty strong lineup for this year. Second year of the Rocks Fest Festival, Portage, Indiana, at Founders Square. Tickets are on sale for that. Also want to highlight, of course, next month, selfishly, 35th birthday, July 3rd. So, it's gonna be a crazy week that week as well. But this week's gonna be a busy month in the world of sports, in the world of wrestling. By this time, we're gonna crown new Stanley Cup champions. We're gonna crown new NBA champions. And then, of course, we creep closer and closer to preseason in August. Yep. I cannot wait myself. I know Joey can't wait. I know all our crew can't wait. And hopefully around that time, we will hear once again from our good boy Hijacker Mike as well. So let's end the show on how we do it. And Joey, thank you. Before we say anything, thank you for giving us even just a slight bit of your time. I know you're a busy, busy man with your family and all that. We appreciate it. But let's go ahead and give your final thoughts of the evening, my friend.
Sure thing. But first, I do want to point out really fast that the NFL really screwed up in giving us the Hall of Fame game being the Panthers and the Cardinals. Just wanted to throw that in.
Oh, wait. Real quick. Your quick thoughts on the new draft lottery rules with the anti-tanking policy.
Not gonna lie, this is the first time I'm really hearing about this, so honestly, I have no thoughts.
I'll tell you this much: they're expanding the draft lottery to 14 to 16 teams, and that those who have the lowest records are basically being, for possibly supposed tanking, are going to be punished with lesser picks.
And this is for the NBA draft?
This is
starting next year, yes.
Starting next year, 2027. Well,
then, all I have to say is good luck trying to tank, Utah, because now you're going to get your ass punished.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing, Joey, is there was a vote to do this, and the vote was 29-1 from all the owners to get it.
Let me guess. The one vote against was Utah's.
No.
Really?
Memphis?
Memphis? Whoa.
Memphis
okay.
voted against it.
Wow.
Yep.
Ha ha.
Memphis were the only ones who voted against this new policy. But the policy is directed to keep teams from tanking to try to get higher picks in the draft. Instead, they'll get they'll get one less pick, and their number will not be as high.
Nice.
So it's a way to encourage them to play better and to play truthfully.
Exactly.
So, but
Interesting.
just want to bring that up. So, final thoughts again, Joey. Sorry, here you go.
You're good. But yeah, it was great being able to be on. It may have only been for 30 minutes, but hey, 30 minutes is better than nothing at all. So yeah, it was great being on here tonight. Talking some sports with y'all, talking a little bit of Cleveland sports ridiculousness.
Part 2.
Part 2. But yeah, it was great being on here. Looking forward to the NFL season starting up soon. At this point, we're just counting down the days till college football and pro football starting back. So all I have to say is bring it on. But yeah, ready to watch some Stanley Cup action, some NBA Finals action starting tomorrow night. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that being said, adios, and I am out of here.
All right, Joey, take it easy, brother.
Take it easy, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all too.
All right. Steven, final thoughts.
Great show tonight. Great having Joey on, even if it was for 30 minutes. Also great having Randy on and everybody out there that tuned in live. Thank you very much as well. And those that watch on demand, thank you very much as well. We are very excited. Stanley Cup Finals are here. The NBA Finals begin tomorrow night. Right now, Carolina is up 2-1 on Vegas in the first period. So if you're a hockey fan, a sports fan, check this game out. It's so far so good. And yeah, can't wait for the next couple of weeks to see what happens in these championship series, and hopefully they go the distance, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, you can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/The Nation Sports Show, and right now we are live on YouTube.com/The Nation Sports Show. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to all your family and your friends that love this world of sports just like we do. And we also love our pro wrestling. RASSLIN, that spells our wrestling. And again, if you have not seen the Grande Americano versus the OG Grande Americano, do yourself a favor and check it out. It is the best match of the past weekend, and it will go down as one of the best matches, if not the best match of the year for 2026. And Clash in Italy was a lot of fun on Sunday. And Raw last night in Italy, the crowd last night was just unbelievable. And the guys and gal will talk about all the world of wrestling this weekend at the Nation's Corner. Follow them on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere it's on the YouTube, the Instagram, and the Facebook channels. They are all at the Nation's Corner. The show is live on most Saturday nights at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And with that being said, what a great show. Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for joining us. We deeply appreciate it. It was a fun show. Don't forget this weekend. This weekend coming up, GCW will present the bloodiest weekend of the year, Tournament of Survival. I believe it's June 6th and 7th, or 7th and 8th. Or no, it's June 6th. And then June 7th is Cage of Survival. So definitely check it out this week on Triller TV Plus. Please go, check that out. And of course, check out all the sports, man. Like I said, the NBA Finals, the NBA or the NHL finals are going to continue on throughout the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll find out real soon when we're going to have ourselves new champions. It's going to be a fun time here for sports fans and wrestling fans in general. Don't forget to follow Too Sweet Cosplay across all socials. We did a brief little con appearance at a con promoting Asian American pride, and it was pretty cool. Our friend Andrew Mann, who is of Chinese descent, was able to go out there with our buddy Don Cox and was able to represent Too Sweet Cosplay. So definitely big thanks to them for holding down the fort while Nico continues to recover from health issues. And I unfortunately couldn't make it due to financial and personal stuff going on, but we were able to get that in. Also, Fan Expo coming up. We'll hopefully have some information for you on that very, very soon. But enough of me talking. Let's get out of here. NXT's on, and we got a little bit of other stuff to look forward to. So, for Kevin Rory, for Joey Thornton, for Randy Gyron, for our boy Hijacker Mike at Smoke NTHABAY, Smoke in the Bay on YouTube. I am Ezra Vickery. We will see you all next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you all next time. Same YouTube channel.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.
Thanks for watching this week's feature presentation of our Nation Sports Show.